If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
Yesterday we discussed about the org structure, and we were about to decide the naming convention for our warehouse. So let's start with creating this org structure. So generally what I do is for each batch I create a spreadsheet document. This is in the end of each session I upload into the LMS. So whatever our notes are, for each unit, our discussions, some flow diagrams, some data we are preparing, I will, keep on updating them into this sheet so that, you can use it for your reference when you're trying it yourself. Okay. So I'll clean this and load it. And so I think we don't need this. We are tracking all these details on our. So I'll clean this and I'll upload this. So basically, just give a batch number here because we'll try to create a company, a plant in that code, with that code. Okay. So let me put, let me propose something, and then you can, obviously we need to also check if 34 is available in the system. Let me see. I generally, give a sequential number PL34 for plant, warehouse 34, EWM warehouse WH34. So let me see if we have this plant and warehouse available.
So Ron, when we configure this warehouse, like the plant is 4-digit code and the warehouse is also 4-digit code, what is the best practice how we do that? It's like a plant and warehouse can be same number, or it is suggested to keep them separate?
It is suggested to keep them separate to different name because at the starting point you may not okay, you may be coming across requirements from client that they want one warehouse for the plant, and it's basically one plant, one warehouse. But in future, the same warehouse can be shared by another plant. They can bring material into this plant, and so technically it is possible you can give any name, but generally we prefer giving a different code than plant.
Because I've been in 20 years, pretty much I worked on a lot of EWM, but I have never seen a warehouse shared. In my experience, one warehouse shared between a two plant. It was always 1-to-1. Yes, maybe any third party who are properly doing the warehousing, they may have that scenario. But in the manufacturing units, so. But have you seen that where we have one warehouse is assigned to multiple plants?
Yeah, I've seen that. That is pretty common. See, the distribution centers, especially in retail, you have a lot of scenarios like this.
Yeah, so that mode. Okay.
Okay, let me check. Okay, we can use PL34. That's fine. So, okay, these are your reference plant, warehouse, shipping points from where you have to copy. Okay, so this was a best practice system provided by SAP, a copy of that. So it has all the standard SAP. So in S/4HANA, the template plant, it starts from 1710. So there are two options, either you have taken an IDS system, then it will be 1000, but if you have taken a best practice system from SAP, it will be 1710. So basically in this plant and this warehouse, you'll have all the SAP best practice process already configured. So in S/4HANA, we generally go with the best practice.
So in Greenfield implementation, this 710 will be available?
Yes.
Okay. 1710.
Okay. So we'll give the story location same. I will just make it 34 everywhere. Easy for us to remember.
So Johan, sorry, I'm pretty behind. What is this warehouse ERP? I know you covered in the first day, but why there is two warehouse in the same box?
So basically, since EWM is embedded now, okay,
Yes.
you need to slightly go back with the history. EWM was a decentralized system before,
Mm-hmm.
so it used to be in separate instance. So there was a separate, client itself for EWM, but a separate instance itself for EWM. And when EWM was, built, you can see only ERP, only WM was 3 characters
Mm-hmm.
code. Everything else was 4 characters. So SAP changed the warehouse code also to 3 characters. Oh, sorry, 4 characters with
Mm-hmm.
EWM. Then
Mm-hmm.
EWM primarily was a decentralized model, but then in S4HANA 2017, SAP realized we should also make it embedded with S4HANA capabilities. So now the same EWM entire whatever module was developed in the decentralized system was
Mm-hmm.
pulled into the ERP space. So the warehouse
Mm-hmm.
was 4 character, but the old WM warehouse was 3 characters.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever you see ERP documents like deliveries,
Mm-hmm.
some especially deliveries, you'll see the warehouse is 3 character. So that fields and the places where warehouse is identified in the ERP side, it is 3 characters. So what we do is we do a mapping between the EWM warehouse and ERP warehouse. We
So
create a
I
warehouse.
create basically simply I create a warehouse as well. Just
Yeah,
a virtual. Okay.
it's a virtual, it's a representation of
It's a
EWM warehouse on
okay.
the ERP side.
ERP side. Makes sense. And then it's whatever BC set or it is connected RFC with EW. Okay. Like that. Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Got it. Got it.
okay. So let's get these created. Okay. Quickly get these plans created. It's on just one plant. 1710 to PL34. Sorry, I'm just facing some issue with my keypad. Come on, I don't know why this. Some issue with my phone. I'll have a look at it. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so plant is copied. I'll quickly change the name of the plant. PL34. I'll say okay, so let's also create story location in this plan. Okay. So P34 will have a lot of story location. Okay, let us okay. Looks like some of my student have changed 1710, so it has also the same story locations have also come in PL34. Leave. And I will uncheck the ones which we need. So the ones which I'm deleting are with our standard SAP story locations, which have come from 1710. And we have these 5 store location which we plan to use. Okay. Then let me create a ERP warehouse. So the warehouse to copy from is 171 to W34. Let me, I hope W34 has not been picked by anyone. Yep, it's not being picked. Okay. 171 used to be here. Let me check again. Okay, let us pick another one here. Can pick W23. That's a good warehouse. I have created that copying 171 only. And let me also bring in 171 back.
Yeah, it's just a text placeholder, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Pick anyone.
Okay. And let me also get 171. It doesn't have any control table. All are at EWM. So
This then when you said 171 is SAP provided, then it should not be gone away, right, Ron?
yeah, I think somebody has deleted, it seems. Since it's a test system, yeah, someone might have deleted by mistake. Okay, good. So let's do the assignment, or let us also create a shipping point. Let's do the shipping point creation as well. So since we are going to use a lot of deliveries, and yeah, shipping point is an important org structure for deliveries, plans all the deliveries and shipment. So I ship SH34. Let's try creating that. One seven one zero is here. Perfect. Nobody has taken SH34, so we can use that. Okay. Quickly change the description. Okay. Then we also need around sales area when we create outbound deliveries. Just creating these org structures so that we could, if any settings are required, then we could on the sales procurement side, if any settings are required, then we can do it for our ERP org structure level. So I will again copy from 1710. I hope it is there, and I'll create a sales org SO34. Okay, then okay, I'll keep it as domestic. Okay, distribution channel division will already be there. And let me create a purchase organization also so that we could identify our storage, our purchase orders separately. So let me copy from 1710, copy, and I will make it as PO34. Purchase organization for PL34. Okay. All right, then let's quickly complete the assignment. Okay, so we'll first complete the ERP org structure assignments, then we'll go to the EWM warehouse and get it created. So first, let us make sure the plant is assigned to company code, which I think should have been done because we have copied from 1710. Yeah, it is assigned to company code 1710. That's what we want. So then the next is, let me assign purchase organization to plant, which I also assume would be done because we have copied. Purchase organization is PO34. No, let's do that then. New entry PO34 to PL34. And then we save it. Then, okay, let's go back and create sales area also. Assume since you have copied the sales log, it should be there. Let me quickly check. Yep, and we are going to use SO34 1000. And yep, it's there. We'll use the sales area for our testing. Okay. I think we need to check now shipping point assignment to plant and assignment of warehouse to transfer location. So we'll find that in logistic execution. First, let's just assign the shipping point to plant. Let me search my plant. Okay, this is plant. And we should be assigned to, so our shipping point is assigned to the plant. So we are okay. It's assigned because we have copied. There are some more assignments which have come up because we've copied. That's fine. We are okay with that. In our determination, we'll make sure that our shipping point is determined. And then so here comes the main setting. I'm not sure whether this would have been copied, but let's give it a try. PL34. We are going to use 4-story location. Okay, no entries are maintained. Let's copy this and then replace the plant. So we're going to use 4 story location which are going to be EWM managed or EWM managed 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000. So let me just copy them. W34 solve warehouse. Okay, the warehouse code needs to be corrected. Done this assignment. Let me change the warehouse code. Okay, so here we have created and made created our ERP org structure and made the necessary assignment. Then let's go to the EWM side now. Okay. So for EWM, creating an EWM warehouse, we need to go here, SCM Extended Warehouse Management, Extended Warehouse Management. So basically the entire folder of EWM has been taken here with all the config nodes in S4HANA. So here you will find there are two things here. One, you can define your warehouse here. Okay. But we don't generally use this. We use cross process settings where we copy the warehouse. Okay. So don't worry, this all these nodes are mentioned in the document. So 1710 WH34. Yeah. Okay. So we have created our EWM warehouse. I'll go in master data, and then here I'll go and change the description of the warehouse.
So what is the difference between the cross and the master data? If you would have created any difference?
Cross.
So you created the warehouse from the the cross and the node.
The difference is the cross process settings one will copy all the config, but when you come here, you define it doesn't copy the dependent config.
Okay.
It's like the copy as has been moved here.
So please, can we go back to the defined warehouse number, please, Ron?
Mm-hmm.
You just open the warehouse.
Yeah.
Go in the detail, please. Can you go in the detail, please? Now here I have a lot of. Oh, okay, not here. Where is the custodian one? That's for another one. Okay.
We will come to that.
Yeah. I thought it was here only. That's why.
No. We'll come to that. It's in the next note.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to complete few prerequisites before we could reach there.
Yeah. I have confusion on that always. So.
And in the greenfield, the same cross process setting will be available as well as a standard. Like
Yes.
okay.
Cross will be there. It is important that 1710 should be there. If 1710
Yes,
is not
like,
there, then
yeah.
the problem.
It will be there. See, basically, you have to reach out to your. I have been into projects where there was nothing in warehouse, especially in S4HANA. When we go into the greenfield project or a new client is using EWM, all EWM folders are empty. You will not find any warehouse, nothing. You then have to request your basis guys to implement the best practices for EWM. They can do that. And then that will bring up 1710.
But when we say implement best practice, what does it mean for the basis? What they have to do? Because
So
we can say best practices.
yeah, they know what best practices. It's basically has to be installed from SAP. So like how they build a test client, or how they so basically they connect to SAP. I mean, they have to log into SAP. So each basis, a basis team, they have a connection through SAP, through which, just take example how you download OSS nodes from SAP into your system, right? So they log in from SAP into the SAP's portal. From there, they get all this required config of best practices.
No,
They
but
download it
again,
into your
here,
system.
here in example, in the OSS node, yes, basis do it, but we are the one who look for the OSS node.
Mhm.
We look at the function, because for them, they don't understand more in detail what OSS node going to do. So we look in that OSS node, we check that, and then we request them to upload and get the detail and implement it in our test system, right? So now when we say to best practice, so they will come, okay, tell us what is best practice, like it has generally happened when you go to the technical team.
It can happen. So just share screen with them, see what they are trying to look at, which version you are into,
Yeah, from
and
the
what is the
functional
running.
side, if we have to do any research, so how, like, if you can give us some tips, so if we get any sandbox and there, then we have to implement the best practice. So any sort of research, what we have to do.
It is just show you. It's pretty straightforward. You can just search best practices.
Will that be in the SAP roadmap viewer by any chance?
It will not be in a roadmap viewer. There's a separate side, best practice explorer.
Okay. I got it. Building blocks, you say, right? Building blocks, what you have, the SAP best practice.
You have to select the EWM one, which will give you the vanilla.
So basically, you will have here, S/4HANA. You go here.
Yeah.
Technology,
Yes.
and then you will see your
like on premises, and then you select for the
line of business or something.
Yeah, line of business.
line of business, and then you can So they will get this navigation, when they're trying to download. So you have to tell them where.
Oh, okay. You are telling us the activation code number, right, in S4HANA, which is new.
Correct.
Yes.
So if you come here,
that has to be activated.
You have these codes will be there.
Yeah. IFS quality. Got you. Yes. Okay. So this is something we have to tell them, right, Rohan? Always. Like we were doing this.
Yeah. Depends, how equipped our basis team is. Generally, it's very clear, through navigation, they can go to warehousing. If here there are more than one, so they may ask you, do you also need advanced warehousing or no?
But advanced warehousing is come with the licensing, right? If you have the advanced EWM, then only you can activate this advanced warehousing.
Yeah, that's correct. You need to have an advanced license for that.
Okay, this is the one for that. This is the one. Okay, fine. Thank you, Tony.
Okay. So, all right, let's move ahead. Okay. Now, before we start into a project, we need the other modules to complete their activities. Basically, we need so we are at a stage we are creating a warehouse, and we have to do the integration. So before we go into the functional integration and the basis integration, we need these prerequisites to be completed. The finance team should get us the company code. We should have plant codes. Store locations should be identified, these decisions should be made. Yeah, the shipping point to be assigned to the plant. We have assumed for all of them, and we are ready. What we also need is plant as customer and plant as vendor. This is very important. We need the sales team and the procurement team to provide us a business partner in S/4HANA system for a customer and vendor. So this is required, this is mandatory. So that's why I've mentioned it as a prerequisite. We'll see as we proceed, why they are required, because in many logistic projects, you need them for your STO scenarios and so on. But in EWM, we need them to identify the stocks, basically, for which plant they belong to. Because in EWM, as I told you, you can store products for multiple plants. Though the projects will be less with one warehouse, multiple plants, but EWM is designed to connect to. It's basically a standalone independent module. It can be EWM can be implemented separately, and it can connect to non-SAP ERPs also. It is that standalone module. So we need to identify which plant stock it is. There are processes like consignment where we need to identify, the vendor, and we have to differentiate the stock between vendor and plant. So there are several processes where we need a plant identification for our stock. Okay, so that's why we will create plant as customer and vendor. This is mandatory. We need to get that created from our procurement and sales team. So I'll get it created now, and as we proceed further with our integration settings, we'll see how this can be used. Okay, so we need to go to business partner. Okay, I'll create a new business partner organization. Okay, so the grouping is very important here. I think which is
so a little bit more time on business partner, Rohan, because a bit new to business partner concept in S/4HANA. Yeah. So this is like a accounting group, what we have in ECC, right?
See, this is a grouping which takes your number range into consideration, which number range a business partner is created. Okay, so this grouping controls that. So business partner, this is the general data of business partner, and then we are going to create a vendor and customer data for the business partner.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just keep the address same as plant.
And we saying, Johan, this is prerequisite for the setup, or is just because you're running those scenario? If I don't have that scenario where I'm doing STO, would I still need that?
Yeah, you still need that. This is required for integration, or
This is required for
this
integration.
integration. Yeah.
Integration between?
I would say this is required basically for your stock identification. So if you don't, there are some settings going forward where we need to identify, how the stock should be, identified for which is the plant. So if we don't do those settings where this business partner is used, we'll not be able to use EWM.
Okay.
So just park it, we will come to that area, and then you'll understand why I'm saying it's important for integration.
No problem.
Okay, so business partner, this is the general data, like how we create general data in vendor master or customer master. An ID. Don't know why somebody is playing with this. Let me remove them. We don't need them. It's not a carrier. Okay. See if at all I have to have identification. This is a Not sure why the C ones are here, why the standard ones are not here. Don't need them because it's an S4HANA. We don't need this. Just ignore this, you not get this carrier. Somebody has used carrier, special carrier for doc appointment scheduling, but they have, made a change to a wrong, place, and it's coming up here. So just ignore that. Just maintain that application type and proceed. So this is general data. Now let's say this a business partner. Now I want to make it as a customer, okay, or a vendor. Okay. So the place we need to go here is going to change mode and assign. Just since you guys are new, I know most of the time it happens. So what I've done here is, just giving you the screenshots here, okay, and I've made the note that you should have these roles assigned. So FLCU00 is a company code data for a business partner. FLCU01 is a sales org level data. FLVN00 is a company code data for vendor, and FLVN01 is company code data for vendor master. So these 4 standard rows should be assigned. Okay. So I'll go in first. I'll start with vendor. Okay. FI data. Okay. So as soon as you click this, you'll have general data coming up here. Okay. So now system will try to create a vendor number. So see, this is business partner, but in the background, it will update the vendor master tables. So a vendor number will be created. I'll say 1934, create vendor with the same code. Okay. And if you go here, it's in the FLBN01. Okay. So I'll just browse through the data. If any other, data is required, I'll click on company code and I'll enter our company code here, which is 1710. I'll extend it to our company code. The reconciliation account is mandatory in vendor master. The same thing is coming up here. I'll say domestic payable. Yeah. Simply browse through if any mandatory details are required. If not, I'll just simply save it. Okay. Now I'm going to maintain the purchase organization relevant data. So now if you go to the general, you will see a plant code here. This is very important. This is where, we assign the plant to the business partner or the vendor. Okay. So VL34, we maintained it now. And then let's go to the purchasing tab, enter a purchase organization, PO34. Anything mandatory will maintain, otherwise we'll just simply browse through the fields and save it. It's done, I think, yeah.
What was this assignment to the plant? Vendors assigned to the plant then?
Yeah, vendor assigned. So how we know that this business partner is a plant? Basically, it represents a plant. We have to assign the plant code to the business partner over here.
So if we want to assign more than one plant, where do we do that?
You will have more than one business partner.
Okay.
It's a one-to-one relation like we have, Rich.
STO.
One-to-one relation.
All right. Okay.
Oh God, sorry. I didn't mean to. I want to create a different role. Let me come back. 1934. Change one. Now I'm going to simply extend it to the customer. So FL customers. Start with general data. I'll enter the customer ID that I want. I'll say I need BP1934. Yeah. Don't think anything else is mandatory here. I'll go to company code.
So this internal, customer number, external customers, it's best practice to keep it same, right? What you are, what is the BP, and you can.
Yes, that's a good question. Yes, it has to be same.
So, but is it not you have to do a setup where it will basically it's an external number range for your vendor and customer, and it will adopt the BP number. That's a different setting you have to do. So you don't have to create manually. It will automatically copy whatever the BP number is.
Exactly. There is a config in the business partner where you say don't ask, take it on your own.
Yeah, external number range basically you allow.
Yeah. So I'll just save it. So just mention, what we need to ensure the business partner that it is assigned to these roles and plant is assigned. This is our requirement in terms of creating a business partner. Okay. So we got all our prerequisites sorted. We have created our warehouse.
Sorry, Rohan, have you assigned the plant in the customer as well? Or is it no assignment like that?
No, there's no such assignment. No such
assignment. Okay.
If you go back to the general data for customer, we don't have any such assignment.
Okay.
It's there. I could see there, but I think it's not required
for our processes. So.
Yeah. So basically, what if you have previously, seen this T0, there's a table called T001W. Yeah, we use it for STOs as well. We just need
you to go on this table only.
Yeah, this is a check. We need to make sure.
This is a check. Yeah. We should have the listener and.
So what we checking?
So here we have the customer number is blank still, but we got a blank.
Come from the STO config. Come from the STO config.
Yeah, that is from the that's right.
Correct. So we need to make sure that these two are assigned.
Customer number is okay.
So it will come from the setup. There's one more setup we have to do.
One more setting. We'll go through that. Okay. Right. So have some time. So now, we have done the basic org structure setting. Now let us start with the integration settings. Okay. So we need to integrate our warehouse. So this warehouse still, we have created them and the basic org structure is created. But before we start executing the process or start our master data setup, we need some additional integration configurations. Okay, so that the data comes from ERP to EWM and it goes from EWM to ERP. Just give me 1 minute. I'll take a 1 minute break.
So just to recap, you initially had storage location, 4 storage location, which you're gonna represent there in the EWM. And when you copied, were those storage location, how that relationship happened? Because you had a 4 unit, right? So you created just one EWM structure.
Yeah, I've took 4 storage locations.
Okay, automatically.
Assigned to one. As of now, this link is not set up yet. We just created all of them. The links are maintained here in the assignment, but this link is still missing. That's what our next setting will be. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. I'll be back.
So Sid?
Yes, sir.
What we were doing was creating a plant vendor, right?
Yes, sir. Plant vendor and plant customer.
So if we want to create Like normal vendor, external vendor.
So normal, the grouping, what he has selected, right, sir? The general will
Have
be
to select
same. Yeah.
yeah,
So, and then you don't assign up, you can do the same setup, but we don't assign the plant, the plant.
exactly. That's where I got confused. So I
Yeah. So
forgot
if you
this
don't
is a
give
plant
that, yeah.
vendor.
In S4, sir, everything BP, even the employee is created as BP. You may not see it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in a back end, yeah, it just gets created.
So this is something new for us. Like we have to get
The,
Used to it.
used to it. So it's same thing. We do the same thing in the vendor master, but now here they are new grouping, as well as the number range. So which is like in vendor master in ECG, we got the account group which control internal number, external number, what will be the format. So here the grouping is playing that role. So right now Rohan has selected the external number range, the grouping.
no,
For external, and that allow us to enter the BP134
Yeah.
number.
Yeah, back. All right. So where were we? Okay. So I'll just quickly give you the definition of what our goal should be, for this integration. So at the end of this integration settings, I'm going to take you through some basis settings, some functional settings, and at the end of this, we should be able to, when we create a product, we should be able to extend it to EWM, or if we create a delivery, it should come to EWM, and when we do a GR, it should flow to ERP. So our aim is, there should be a seamless communication between the systems. Okay, so in S4HANA, basically, we don't do sifting, or we don't send data from ERP to EWM. Okay, this is just one single system in S4HANA. Okay, so master data is synchronized. We don't need to do sifting. We don't need to do IDOC, nothing, because it's just one system. This is one of the main benefit of going with S4HANA.
Embedded.
Embedded, yeah, that's correct. And if you go for decentralized, then you have to send data to IDOC, or if you're not in S4HANA, you have to use SIF. We, at the end of a training, we'll spend 1 or 2 sessions to talk about, what is the difference between a decentralized system and embedded. Till then, whatever I'm discussing is embedded, because it's easy to understand, and it's easy to execute a process. We don't have to swap one system to another all the time. But there are some deltas. We'll discuss them. The deltas are mostly related to your master data integration, and some of the additional documents are created in a decentralized system, which we could eliminate them in S4HANA.
Notification, basically, all the notification what we
Notification
get.
and
So
requests.
in embedded, still we have those notifications somewhere in background, or it is totally removed?
It's removed. It's totally removed.
Totally removed. Yeah.
Okay. So we will be using this master data. Button master, your vendor and customer, they are in EWM, basically in SCM. We used to create them as locations. You don't need to do them plant as customer, plant as vendor. When we used to do integration settings, we had to shift the plant as customer and vendor to EWM to create a business partner. We can, you don't have to do them now. Shipping point, when we create a shipping point, we had to create a supply. We have to shift or push the shipping point to EWM, and that would create a supply chain unit. This is still required, but we will create it manually. Well, as we go ahead through our settings, we'll see how the supply chain unit is created. It basically represents shipping point on the EWM side. So I'll be introducing a lot of new terms: supply chain unit, custodian, part and tool dispose, as we go ahead through this integration settings. So master data, we don't need to do any more settings with the existing S4HANA framework. It will work seamlessly. It is integrated as a one product. Okay. But for transactional data, it still behaves. I mean, SAP is in process of, still they're in a process of still embedding, thoroughly EWM into ERP. So so basically, when we create deliveries, it is still going to create another delivery on the EWM side. We create an inbound delivery in BL31, it creates a delivery on the EWM side. Expectation is in future, we don't need in the same system, we don't need two delivery documents. So we'll see what SAP brings up in near future. But till 2020, 21, SAP is still has this kind of a architecture where the deliveries are created in ERP, and then in the background they are sent to the same system. Okay, so basically many consultants, they ask, why we need an integration settings, why we don't have a table like we do an assignment of plans to location to warehouse. Why can't we do a WM assignment to EWM warehouse? That should take care of everything. Yeah, I think that's the expectation. I think we'll see a lot of these simplifications from SAP in future, but SAP has a big roadmap next 5-6 years for EWM, so that is going to slowly come up. But for now, if you are implementing S4HANA, EWM in S4HANA, you have to do this additional integration settings, which will activate bodies to send your deliveries from ERP to EWM. So your deliveries are replicated to EWM.
With the same number, right?
Yes, you can choose to have a different number. That is also an option. Okay. Yeah. So deliveries are replicated, and then you post the GR. It's a two-way communication for your transactional data. Okay. So our aim is to connect this to transactional data from the ERP to EWM. So our final aim would be to activate a body. So we run a transaction which activates a body that as soon as this is a standard body and it's a standard transaction, as soon as the deliveries are created, it's EWM managed, push it to EWM. Okay. So distribution model, that's correct. Yeah. So we'll go ahead with our settings. Okay, so
can we stop the class at soon?
No, I think we have reached our end. 2 more minutes.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's fine. I thought it's going to take longer than that then.
No, I just wanted to stop at slide 18 so that tomorrow we can come up and start our settings.
Yeah. So can we connect tomorrow, Rohan? Do you have available, because we requested Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, but as we so possible for you to connect tomorrow, or you have to do it on Friday?
It's possible for me. I'm
if
fine.
you're running behind, then
yeah.
So just let me see. So I think you all are working together, right? Sid, Kabir, and Bridge.
No, myself and Bridge and Kabir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you all three of you are okay, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll be okay.
We all are okay.
How about Anantraj?
I don't think he is in this group.
I can see him as an attendee. Anantraj, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Are you okay to connect tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So I'll request Chris and team. So see, basically, since we are starting this match, are you okay guys to do it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Because we have to stick to a timeline. So if at all we are going to make it 3 days, then maybe we have to then continue with 3 days, because at least we have to continue with 4 days for some more time. Or what are you guys planning? It cannot be done once, because we have to, since most of our coordination team, we need to tell them in advance. So are we okay to continue at least 2-3 weeks, 4 days a week? Is it okay with everyone?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I think till we start the
Yeah,
process.
till we start, till we do the initial setup, then we can do that.
Till we start the processes, and then we'll go slow.
True.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
well,
let me. Mhm.
I'm happy with the days. Just that, is there any possible time change apart from current timing? So at India, it is 10:30 it starts. So that is a day we start our work. Is there any possibility?
Prepone, it will be very difficult. But
Postpone
I
is
think
also fine if it is after 12.
The other team members, they are based out of
UKZ.
UK. Yeah, UK. So they have to go to their offices.
Oh, okay. Okay then. Yeah. No issues.
Yeah. Sorry for that. Yeah. So okay. So all right, we'll stop here. We'll talk about slide tomorrow, and then it's almost end time now, and then we'll continue with our discussion on the basic settings. I'll
And one more request, Rohan, when you go down the line, if you give us little bit flavor of the tables and those as well, not now, but when we will under transaction. So just bring the element, because we all are quite familiar with that. It's not something new for us, but just if you give us a flavor, then we will understand, how it is going and what.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely. I'll let you know about tables. Don't worry, all these things will come up during our discussion.
Because when we are running the process, then only parallelly we quickly go and touch it, so we have the detail also, and then we can explore ourselves some of the important one.
Yeah, no problem. I'll do that. Okay then.
Cheers, guys. Yep.
You.
Speak to you
Thank you.
later.
All
Bye.
right.
Got to go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.